In a world filled with intergalactic space battles, metahuman destruction on a global scale, and psychopathic serial hauntings, there's only one team who can make sense of it all. When your world is overrun with rampant pop culture, call Loop and Derry, Guardians of Geek.
95th explosion. we are creeping up real quick on that 100th episode.
Oh, so close, so close.
Yeah,
Hey,
so
everybody,
close.
I'm Loop.
And I'm Larry.
And this is Guardians of Geek, and I'm so excited. We're getting close to Christmas. We're not too far away from, I think, maybe 7 days as of this recording. Yep. So we're getting right there. So we're doing a little, our annual Christmas episode. So I'm super excited about it. And before we get started into Top Pop, I got something that just got announced, and I just want your opinion on it. You don't even know what this is going to be yet.
But you know what? I have a feeling I know what it is, but go ahead.
What do you think about the Oscars going to YouTube?
Yes, I knew this was what it was going to be because I had it noted down too. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I think to me,
so just to mention it for a second, YouTube and because you don't know, YouTube and the Oscars, the Academy have signed a deal. Like it's a multi-year one. I think it starts in 2029 and goes to 2033. And it's basically the Oscars are going to go for the first time ever off network TV to YouTube. Much like WWE, all their material went to Netflix. Like it's kind of it's a streamer, so it's essentially like YouTube. So it's just such an odd deal. It came out of nowhere.
It's really strange, and I I just don't know. Like I don't know. Like being on a network like ABC, which is where it's been on forever. It gives it sort of accessibility to most people, I guess. Oh, well, you know what? Okay, now I'm really rethinking that because a lot of people have cut the cable, right? And so they don't even have broadcast TV anymore. They just have streaming services, and maybe this is why it's happening. I haven't read that deeply into it, but and I'm changing my whole thing. Maybe it's better for them to be on YouTube because everybody has access to YouTube. It's free essentially. You could pay for it if you want, but it's free, and even people who've cut the cable can now watch it. So maybe it will boost the audience.
Yeah, I'm wondering too, like, I mean, then it won't get rated. I mean, YouTube could give any number they want digitally of like, I mean, obviously they'd have real numbers on it, but like they could release whatever they wanted. But you're right, you could watch it anywhere, whether you have cable or not. As long as it's still going and it's accessible, I don't really care where it lands because you can watch YouTube on regular TV too through a lot of the TVs. So I don't know. I'm kind of for it in a way, but at the same time, it's odd for it not to be on TV.
Yes.
Like as long as you can click the skip ad button.
Well, that's the question because so this is going to be what's weird. Are they going to include commercial breaks? Because I pay for YouTube Premium. So I don't have any commercials in anything I watch on YouTube because I use YouTube a lot and it was driving me crazy that every like 5 seconds there was another commercial break. So I actually paid for the premium, but not everybody does, and you don't have to. So does that mean if you haven't paid for premium, are the regular YouTube ads going to pop up like at random times? Or are they going to block that? And if you have paid for premium, are you still going to get commercials? I don't know how this is going to work.
Yeah, I don't know. Like if people are going to pay for commercials for it, like to be in it, or is it going to be more like sponsorships, or is it going to be like, because it'd be interesting if it just never stopped. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was no commercials and it just kept going. It's going to be really interesting. It's there's a lot of things lately that have been a little bit of a game changer. And I saw something the other day where they predicted stuff that wouldn't be around like in the next like 20 years or like in our lifetime. And one of them was traditional terrestrial TV, like channels. Like, because everything would be streamed somehow or whatever. And it made sense. I was like, at first I'm like, no, that'll never happen. But I mean, ABC could be a streamer like without being on cable. Like it's like, so it'll be interesting with everybody buying everybody lately too. It's like, you know, it'll all be on like about 3 different streamers and we'll all be good.
Exactly. But it's going to be interesting if this works for them, if they get a big audience and this works out, what's to say that like the Super Bowl will move off of Fox, or I think that's where it is,
Yeah.
onto streaming service, or the Grammy Awards, or like will any of those big award shows stay on traditional network TV, where they all move to streamers? I don't know.
I don't know.
I
It's
don't know.
it's interesting because I mean, like I'm using WWE as an example because they're just a powerhouse and a mega corporation. For them and TKO to move all of WWE's material to Netflix was a huge deal.
Yeah.
And so it's like, and so instead of like appointment tuning, like I mean, it's still on at the same time, but it's not the same as going on your PVR and taping it. And so you
Yeah.
have to like log into Netflix and then you can watch it. So that was sort of to me the first of that. And then I know Netflix has been doing some live football and things like
Yeah.
that as well. And I think of some baseball games as
Yep.
well. So it's interesting to see what they're going to do with this. But
Mhm.
it just came out of nowhere. And I'm like, when did this deal happen? Like, this is so crazy.
Yeah. I don't know. I like as long as I get to watch it and the show, the quality stays the same and all of that. Like once it's running, I don't think I'll even notice because it'll play on my TV the same way any YouTube video plays. It'll look the same. It's
Yeah.
just it won't have the ABC logo in the corner and it, you know what I mean? Those little things will be a little odd.
It's the new age, Larry. I don't know.
I know. Well, and so here's another thing too. The pre-show, in Canada, the Oscars run on CTV. CTV
Yeah.
runs the Oscars, and right before the Oscars, CTV has their live pre-show, like the red carpet stuff.
Yeah.
Will CTV still have a live red carpet event if they don't have the broadcast afterwards? Or will all that red carpet stuff go to YouTube as well? I haven't heard anything about that.
Yeah, like I
So
don't know what deals they'll have with TV stations and other
yeah.
places. Like does that mean the Oscars aren't available to other? Because I mean we can get YouTube in Canada, so it doesn't like
Yeah.
unless there's an exclusive contract. But maybe that's why they're starting it so late
Oh,
because it's
maybe.
like you know what I mean, like 2029, so that
Yeah.
that all these separate little deals they probably had for broadcast rights will be expired. Maybe I don't
Yeah,
know.
maybe that's what it is. Yeah, and that's yeah, that could be true too. So I don't know. I like I'm not opposed to it. I just it's gonna be a weird change.
Yeah, it's just so different. I just like
Yeah.
this is a different world, and then like
Yeah.
what I know, I just want to consume stuff, so I don't really care where it is. Like
Nope.
I guess when you bring it down, I just thought it was a like of all the different streamers, that seemed the most odd one to
Yes.
go to. But which also says to me, what's YouTube going to do next? Because if they're doing that, then I'm sure something else is going to be signed soon for some other sport or whatever it is. So
Yep.
it, it'll
100%. It's
it'll be
gonna be.
interesting.
Yep.
So hey, do you want to do top pop?
Oh, sure.
Hey kids, it's time for Luke and Larry's Totally Tubular Top Pop!
All right, here we are, Top Pop, where we just look at what's going on, what's trending, what we're interested in the pop culture world. It could be old, could be new, doesn't really matter. So Larry, what's happening right now with you?
Well, I mean, right off the top, I have to talk about something that I did earlier this week, which I was pretty excited about. And I'll talk more about this in a future podcast, but so I don't want to get into too much detail. But this year marked the 45th anniversary of Stephen King's The Shining, or of
Yep,
sorry, Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, the
yep.
actual movie, the Jack Nicholson movie. So to celebrate that, it was released to IMAX theaters. And but in our town, for whatever reason, it ran for about 2 weeks, and the only showings that it had were at 9:50 p.m., like 10 to
Oh
10 at night.
man.
And it's a 2.5 hour long movie.
So
So it
that
was
was
a
like all the time. Okay, because
yeah,
we went to see a movie we're going to talk about today.
yes,
And then you said, okay, I'm going to see The Shining after it. And I'm like,
yeah.
what like
So I did a double
I'm ready
feature
for
that
bed,
night.
and you're going to see The Shining.
I know, but it's in my top five all-time favorite movies, and to see it on an IMAX, I've never seen it on a big screen, first of
Yeah,
all, because I was only 10 when it came out. And to see it on an IMAX screen, I was like, I can't not do this.
yeah.
So I did. And all I'm gonna say is if you ever get a chance to see a re-release of one of your favorite movies on an IMAX screen, do it. The sound is phenomenal, the picture is huge. It's so much more immersive to see it on an IMAX screen, whatever the movie is. So
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen this movie like 100 times. I was literally in my head like reciting lines as they were saying them in the movie. But it still creeped me out. because
Yeah.
the sound was so much better that like I heard things in the music like talking and whispering and stuff that I've never heard before, and you pick out little nuances in the images. It still creeped me out when I saw those Grady twins. I like literally ducked under my seat, and
The whispering was, Larry, wake up.
yes,
Wake up. It's midnight.
it was actually one of the ushers who
Yes.
came in. Like, sir, no sleeping in here.
The one thing I noticed when I saw The Shining a few years ago at a theater in our town, but they replayed it one night. But the one thing I noticed is like with all these movies is like the little details you notice, like you didn't notice before. Even when I saw like Indiana Jones a few years ago at the theater, and I think it might have been an IMAX presentation of that. It was just just things that you didn't notice before. It's like I didn't notice that or that, like just like little tiny things. It's just a different experience than
It is.
watching it at home.
Well, and the other thing too is that because I've seen this movie so many times, and probably you with like any of the other movies, you don't have to pay as much attention to the actor, like to what's going on. So I was actually finding myself like looking around the rooms, like looking around the
Yeah.
sets to see what else was there because I knew exactly what was happening in the movie. It was nothing was a surprise, but I could actually spend time looking behind them at the walls and things on the desks, and so it just made it so immersive. Even though it was a double feature and I didn't get out of there until 12:30 in the morning on a school night. I wasn't tired. I didn't fall asleep. I was wide awake, paying attention, smile on my face for 2.5 hours. It was great.
Yeah, that's great. I love that you went and saw that. It was too late for me. I couldn't do
Yeah.
it. So,
No,
but
that's fair.
I would have liked to have seen it again because
Yeah.
it's just such a great movie. Like just the Kubrick is like just a master storyteller and
So
just
good.
everything about that movie is perfect. Like it's just a great movie.
It literally is. And I thought that as I came out, I thought, you know what? This is a perfect movie. Like
Mhm.
there's nothing in there that I've ever been like, I wish they had done this instead, or why did they do that? Like that doesn't make any. Everything about it is just perfect. I think it's just
I don't
one of
think
those.
Stephen King thinks that, but I mean,
No,
it's
he
good
really
that you
doesn't. No. No, it was great. I loved it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Anything else happening, or you want me to?
Well, the only other thing, well, while we're talking about Stephen King, I might as well
Okay.
continue. Welcome to Derry
Have
has
we ever
wrapped
talked
up.
about this show before?
I
It's
don't
like
think so. No, this might be the first time I'm mentioning it. It is officially wrapped up. I'm not going to spoil anything because it wrapped up recently. I know you haven't quite finished
I
it
haven't.
yet.
I'm on the last episode, but I haven't finished it.
I got to tell you, I haven't been this excited and happy with a season of TV in a long time.
Okay.
I'm just putting that out there. I've actually watched the whole season twice now.
Wow.
Yeah, I am so upset, and I'm ready to go a third time. Like everything. It's not perfect. It's not The Shining. There are some things that I was like, did that really, But just overall, I just think it's such a great addition to the movies because he goes way deeper into the lore of Pennywise and
Yeah.
the lore of Derry and all of that than the movies did, and also than the book did. Like he went off book,
Yeah.
so he's adding things that weren't even in the book, but it just makes everything so much deeper. And Bill Skarsgård is literally my favorite, like monster
Yeah,
playing Pennywise.
he's amazing as Pennywise for sure. Like
So
he
good.
is creepy as anything,
Oh
and
yeah.
I liked it as well. I thought it was great. I don't like it quite as much as you do. I had some problems here and there with it, but but it was still entertaining. I watched the last episode, so that could maybe change my full view on it. But
Yeah, just watch that last episode, and then we'll talk about it again in our next episode.
in our new podcast called Pennywise,
Yes.
we're just Loop and Larry just talking about Welcome to Derry for we'll break down every episode, and then
I could
it
I
could be
could
like a
do that.
side. It could be like a side
That's
podcast.
our podcast. Sure. I'm in. I'm 100% there. All right. What have you got? What have you got?
All right, I have to mention this because it's like, as you know, it's in my top 5 favorite shows of all time, and you can probably guess what it's going to be. I don't know, maybe you can. It just ended Wednesday night, which is like a couple nights ago. It's Survivor, and
Right.
and it just
I have
ended.
not finished it yet, so don't
Okay,
spoil.
that's fine. I won't spoil it. I finished this season. It was season 49, and
Yeah.
it's always been one of my favorite shows. But at the end of the episode, and this isn't a spoiler, they show the trailer for season 50.
Right.
So this is what I'm focusing on. I'm not talking about anything about the show. It was good. This show was great. But season 50 is where I am focused right now, and I am so excited about season 50. This trailer was fire. It was like I was so hyped for season 50. It was awesome. And it reveals in it, I won't tell you who it is. It reveals who is in from the 49 cast. Right. In this, you see them and they have a couple on screen things, so you know who it is. Okay. So it is like crazy.
Awesome.
So the first episode, it's gonna be a 3-hour premiere.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so there's 24 returning players in this one. So usually I think there's 20 players or 18 or 20. There's 24 returning players. And there's 2 from Survivor 49, which just ended yesterday. Yeah. And I think it starts like February 26th or something. So that'll be the new season. Awesome. That number might not be 100%.
Did they say how many episodes this will have?
I think it's the same run of episodes. So I've heard a rumor that there'll be more episodes with multi people getting voted out.
Oh, okay.
To get it. And you'll see in the trailer, but there's some special guests will be on this season as well. So it's
just tell me, and I know this might be a spoiler. Does Boston Rob show up again?
No, it didn't show Boston Rob. I'm talking like celebrity special guests.
I think
so it's like, a little. Some fans aren't into it right now. I like it. Like I think it's like for the 50th. I think it is. But you'll see the trailer. Okay. It's very interesting. I don't know how much that's going to happen. I don't know, but there's some. But it's the trailer is wild. I'm like when you start seeing these players that you haven't seen again in a long time together, and then you like see someone like Suri, who I'm like a huge fan of, and it's like oh man, I can't wait for this season.
What about so cool. What about tell me? I know it's a spoiler. Does Lisa Welshel show up again?
Even though she was so great on her season, no, she does not show up on
she's
this.
She's not really.
No,
really?
I know she's not. I think she was maybe like the 27th player. It didn't quite make the cut.
Just so close.
I'm sure. I still can't believe that this is a whole other sidetrack, but I can't believe when she was on the show, no one knew who she was.
I know that she looks exactly the same as she.
I know.
That blew me away too. I didn't understand that either.
but anyways, the trailer's cool. I watched it like 5 times already. I'm so excited for this season. So bring it on. Season 50 of Survivor. I can't believe it's been on that long, to be honest. But it was started in 2001 is when that show started. Isn't that crazy?
That's nuts. I mean, it'll be 25 years that this show. 25 years. Of a single reality show. Like none of the other reality like when did The Amazing Race start?
It was like probably like
15 years, 20 years.
Yeah,
ago?
It's been about 15 years for Amazing Race.
Something
I think.
Like that. Yeah, so, it's been a long time. But like the fact that it's hanging in there 25 years later, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Anyways, that's what I want to talk about because I was so excited last night when I saw the season 50. And season 50 is a big deal. Like that's huge. So and they're going. It looks like they're going all out for it too. And the fans voted stuff in on this now.
Yes.
So they decided like how many immunity idols they wanted and like what things they wanted to come back and which thing. Like so there'll be probably some good old school stuff in there. Awesome. I'm sure there'll be some bug eating at some point. Like it's like so. That wasn't in the trailer, but I'm just guessing that's the kind of stuff that'll end up being in it. So
that's the one thing that I've been missing is like the bug eating, like the auction when sometimes it was a bug or something. You know what I mean? Like I love that old stuff. I think that's
I would like them to see them go back to other places, but I know they've probably made an entire encampment on this this island. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It used to be more about the survival aspect and where you were, but. But now it doesn't really matter. Who cares? It's just about the players and their
the strategy.
The strategy is really what it's about. So, but anyways, so that's it. Just Survivor. I'm ready. I'm like 2026 is already heating up with a lot of stuff. So I'm really so excited. So it's gonna be good. All right. How about what did we buy now?
Oh hey yeah.
What did we buy now?
All right? This is what did we buy now? Because Larry and I are always buying something. And we thought, oh, this might be a 1 week segment, maybe a couple times. And so far we've been able to fill every single week with both of us. I thought maybe sometimes it'll just be you and sometimes, I mean, that might happen, but it's like we seem to have something coming every week.
Yeah, I don't understand.
And a lot of dumb things.
Yeah, and it's not even like we're doing it for the segment. This is just what we do.
Yeah, and then we thought, well, let's make it a segment of the show. So
it's so funny.
All right, Larry, what do you got for us?
Okay, so we've talked about this before. You know how big a Godzilla fan I am.
Yes.
Specifically of the movies. Like, I mean, I love Godzilla. But even more specifically, the early movies, the Showa era Godzilla, the movies from 1954 to 1975.
Yeah.
We've talked about that. You and I both watched them on WUAB, Channel 43 Cleveland. Superhost had them. We just love those things. So I made it my mission this year to watch all 15 of the Showa era
like from the Criterion Collection box set?
No, I actually own them all individually.
Oh, really? Did you have that box set? Like
I don't, because I already have them all individually.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess what's the point? But it's a slick. If you like Godzilla, that's a slick box set. It really is. Nice.
My only problem with it is so tall. I don't have a shelf to put it on.
Yeah, I just have it like displayed, but it's like
But anyway, so I've done that, and so I thought, okay, well now I've done that. Now that's done. What can I do next? Well, then I realized that at the same time that the Godzilla movies were happening, they sort of spun off the Godzilla movies to the Gamera movies. Do you remember Gamera?
I don't like. I remember. I do remember him having a few movies on his own. Like, or it could be a female. I don't know if Gamera's male or female, but
actually, I don't really know that either. I'm gonna find out though.
Yeah,
they had a lot. He had a lot of movies. I didn't realize this, but so I have recently purchased the box set of.
That's a sweet set.
Oh, where am I? It's a beautiful set. And this is the first set. There are 8 movies in here. And this is the Showa era. So these are the Gamera movies that came out between 1965 and 1980. And there are 8 of them. So these movies were coming out at the same time as the early Godzilla movies.
Wow. Okay, that's wild.
I know. So so now my new goal is, and they're from Arrow Video, so they're a beautiful transfer. They're really nice. But now my goal is to watch all of the Showa era Gamera movies. Next week, I was hoping it would arrive before this, but then after this set, there's the Heisei era. And those were the movies, the Godzilla movies that came out, I think around like mid 80s to the 90s.
Okay.
So at the same time, they released 4 more Gamera movies. So I've got that box set coming, and that box set, I wish I had it together because it matches this one. So see how he's cut off here?
Okay,
if you hold that box set beside it, you've got the entire Gamera image. You're looking this up to buy this now, aren't you?
Oh no, I'm not. I don't have it.
You're totally doing that. Look at you. I knew it.
I'm like, who is this available? I'm just
it
was so important to me that it was like, is it on Blu-ray or 4K? Is it?
No, this is just Blu-ray. These are Blu-ray. Yeah, but the box set is beautiful. I knew you
carts and
yeah, but you have to get both. You have to get both.
What's the other one?
It's the one below.
I just put my phone here. I'm not tricking anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Here.
It's the one below it. So it's the Heisei era. The boxes are opposite. Like the pictures are opposite.
I think it's the first time we've ever bought something.
This is a live purchasing right here. But
I'll find it. So it's called the what?
It's called the Gamera. It's just called Gamera. The first one's called the Showa era. The second one is called Gamera, the Heisei era.
Oh, I found it.
You see it? You see it?
Yeah.
And if you put the 2 box sets side by side, you've got this whole image. The whole Gamera comes together. Right. So yeah, I am super excited over the holidays. This is I've got 8 movies.
You're buying this, aren't you?
Totally knew it. I knew you were doing it. There it is. This is a first, folks. This has never happened on.
I'm like, if I don't buy it now, I'm gonna forget. So
Yeah,
I
you know,
had
you
to jump
can't.
into
You
that.
gotta just get it when you get it. Yeah.
Woo!
Oh, it's really important. This is an important purchase. Yeah.
At some point we should do a Godzilla movie, and then maybe like this season, because I'd really like you to explain to me the difference in the Godzillas. Like, so I need you to pick.
Oh,
This is my challenge for you right now.
okay.
Pick like a Godzilla movie for us to watch. It can be like good or not so good. Maybe
Okay.
Godzuki's in it or whatever the hell his name is.
Godzuki.
And then, or maybe do the cartoon.
Yes.
But and you can talk. Maybe we'll have Hank on because he's a big Godzilla fan too.
Yes. Yeah. That'd be
And
good,
we
yeah.
could talk about Godzilla because I am like I love it, but I don't really understand like who owns what of it and who's
Gotcha.
produced what.
Well, it's
but,
all of the Godzilla movies are Toho Studio, like all of them from 1954 right up until like, well, not all of them, but most of them right up until the newish ones, like the 2000s. So they all, but they're called different eras based on the Japanese emperor or prime minister.
okay.
At the time. So the Showa era was the emperor, I guess, in the 50s to the 70s, and then the prime minister was Hensei, so that was the Hensei era ones.
That's interesting. Yeah, we got to do
Yes.
that. We got to do this. That's like
So that's how
I'm
that's how they
keeping my
broke it down.
hands up here so I don't buy any more things.
That's probably a good idea. Yeah.
It's like trapped up here.
Yes. Anyway, so I am super excited about launching into the Gamera because I don't think I've seen any of them. So I will.
I
now,
always just thought that when I probably seen some of them, but I always thought that was just a Godzilla movie. So it was
well,
like
they would look like that
they look the same. Yeah.
Yeah, because there is a Godzilla versus Gamera movie.
Yeah,
So,
I thought there was, but okay.
yeah, but they spun them off. But no, they've been running these forever. And apparently, the second box set, the Hensei ones, are considered. There's four movies in that era. Those are considered some of the absolute best kaiju movies ever made.
Okay.
That's saying a lot. So I'm pretty excited. That'll be here on Monday, so I will have that one on Monday.
All right, excellent. Mine will be coming Prime, maybe even tomorrow. We'll see.
Okay. All right. So now what
Oh
have
my
you
gosh,
got?
this is why we can't control ourselves.
No,
Like,
this is a problem.
oh
All
my
right,
god.
just
Okay.
let me know before you say anything. Should I be getting my Amazon account up and ready before you talk?
Yeah, yes. No,
Should
there
I,
we go.
just in case? Okay.
Yeah, you might want to get this.
All
This
right.
is more of an eBay situation. So
Oh,
it's
all right,
like,
fair
okay.
enough.
This is a character that lives kind of rent free in my head a lot because I was
Okay.
I was a little bit scared of him as a kid. But now I'm kind of more interested because it's creepy. It's more
Okay.
creepy than anything.
More creepy than my Dark Crystal doll that I showed the other week.
This might be. I bought from HR Puff and Stuff.
Oh God.
Freddie the Flute.
Yes. Oh, like a 3D printed Freddy the Flute. Oh my God, that's hilarious.
But he's got like the diamonds and everything. He's like,
wow.
"Hey, how are you doing?"
That is so ridiculous. And it's like life size.
Yeah, it's like huge. Like it's like
Oh,
I
that's-
did see one that would like look more like a real flute, but it was not as good. Like it didn't have the diamonds and stuff on it, and it was super expensive. Like it was like
Oh,
like not unless it was an official one or something. But I thought this is pretty funny. Like
that
so
is
it comes with this little guy here.
Oh, that is so funny. I can't believe you got Freddy the Flute.
I am obsessed with Freddie the Flute for some reason. I'm like, one day I'm like, I'm gonna see if I can find a Freddie the Flute, and I found one
And you found it on eBay.
on eBay. Yeah,
Oh my God.
someone
that
produces them, makes them. So I just
that is classic. It's 3D
that-
printed. Is it 3D printed?
I don't know if this is. I think it might be. I don't
It
know if
looks
it is or
kinda like
not.
it might
This
be.
is definitely 3D printed. Like
Yeah.
the stand,
Yeah.
100% 3D printed.
That is awesome. Are you still slightly scared of him?
I am. I just as a kid, like I mean, HR Puff and Stuff was a weird show, anyways.
Yeah.
But the Freddie the Flute was just, especially in the movie, he was so creepy looking. Like, 'cause he has that little
Yes.
tiny face that moves. Like, I don't know how they
Yeah.
did that, to be honest. But
Like
he's
a little
like,
puppet thing. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was so creepy. So, anyways, Freddie. So I got Freddie. I
That
just like,
is awesome.
but I think about him too much. So I was like, I think one day I'm like, I gotta get that Freddie the Flute. Like, someone must have made one or has like a replica of him or something. So
Yeah.
you pretty much
That
think
is
of
so-
anything and someone's made it, like somewhere. Like,
Well, and that's like if it was 3D printed, it must have been done very recently because people are like 3D printing now. Like the
Yeah.
fact that somebody like cared enough about that show and about that character to actually create the plan to 3D print it.
Yeah,
And
and like these are all inset like
yeah,
gems and stuff too. So
like
they're not like it's not
that's
like
really good.
it's very cool. They're not just
Yeah.
stuck on there. They're like
No,
actually little bumps for them all.
yeah, it actually looks real. Like it looks like that's exactly what he looked like. Freddie the Flute. Oh my
I'm
god,
gonna
that's
bring
the
him onto a
best.
ship and see what happens if I go to
I
HR
feel like
Puff
you
and Stuff
should.
Land.
Yes. Oh, that's awesome.
Someday I'll live in
Yep.
the real world, but not right now.
Yeah, and I highly doubt that.
Yeah, that's not happening.
No.
All
Woo!
right.
All right.
All right. Is it time to go to the pop capacitor?
I think we probably should, yes.
All right, it's time for the pop capacitor. We look back at something and we kind of review it and then decide if it still holds up after time. And today, because it's our Christmas episode, we decided to do Silent Night, Deadly Night, and it's also there's a newer version in theaters, which we'll talk about, which we both saw,
Yeah.
which is sort of like I guess a remake of it.
It's
So
something.
yeah, it's something. So Silent Night, Deadly Night was released on November 9th, 1984. So it's been around for quite a while now. So like 41 years, I guess, right?
Yeah.
It's in there.
Yeah.
And here's just the quick synopsis. Little Billy witnesses his parents getting killed by Santa. This is so dumb. After being warned by his senile grandfather that Santa punishes those who are naughty. And Billy is now 18, out of an orphanage, and has become a Santa serial killer.
That's pretty much it.
There's a lot bundled into that. Actually, there's
Yep.
a lot of happening in that description. But
But
I think that's
that's
pretty good. So
that's pretty accurate. Yep.
so before we start, what are your initial memories of this? Do you remember it? Do you like?
I never saw it when it came. Like I don't remember watching this when I was a kid, like renting it from VHS store. I don't remember that. I mean, I watched it for the first time maybe like 5 or 6 years ago, like not even that long ago. So I don't have like childhood memories of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's a relatively new one for me.
I remember renting it like in high school and stuff. And I do remember seeing it a bunch of times, but so I was excited to rewatch this again. I haven't watched it in a while. And
Yeah.
I think there's like 5 sequels altogether.
Yes.
There's 5 of them. I have them
There are
all.
5.
Like
Yes.
I haven't seen them all, but I have them all.
No. And the way it worked is the first 3 were based on the same story. So it was the Billy, and then it was his brother, and and then 4 and 5 are standalone stories.
Yeah,
Like
just
they're
different.
not related.
Just
I don't-
using the title basically.
Yeah.
Like,
Pretty much. That's the way that worked.
all right.
Okay,
we'll-
so
yeah, we'll start with some hits and misses, and we've got some fun facts to throw in as we go.
Yep.
And so do you want to start, Larry?
Sure.
What's your hit miss ratio like right now? Is it like,
They're actually pretty balanced.
Yeah, mine's
right
not
now.
too bad.
Yeah, no, they're pretty balanced. The last couple I've had like no misses at all. This one I have some misses.
okay, perfect. As do
But-
I have a few.
Yes,
So.
yeah. But I'll start with a hit.
Okay.
So right off the top, it's got a really cool sort of animated opening. That's creepy, but it's animated and it's different from like a regular horror movie. And I thought that was a neat way in. Like it felt very nostalgic. Like it felt like early 80s animation. But it just felt different from everything else that you see. So you're like, oh, this is gonna be a different sort of experience watching this. So I thought it was a great way to hook you in.
Yeah.
Animated in the opening, getting you right in there. I thought that was pretty cool. And there was a little girl singing, and it was super creepy the way she was singing, and it just I was hooked right at the beginning. I was like, oh, this is gonna be great.
And also, I'll come off that with a hit, but I love that there's like wasn't a whole lot of like Christmas horror movies. It was kind of
No,
untapped, except for like Black
Black
Christmas and
Christmas.
things
Yeah.
had come out by this time. But I do love that there's like a full Christmas horror movie.
Yes.
I will go off yours with I had some cool style choices in this movie. Like the director did some kind of cool things. Some of it looks a little amateur, and then some of
Yeah.
it looks kind of cool. Like
Yes.
but I mentioned with that the opening with the child singing was very cool, like super creepy. And there's something about a movie at this time period that's just the quality's just low enough that it adds to it.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
Yep.
But there's also another cool shot later on where the Billy's looking through like a keyhole,
Yes.
like and there's a light coming through and the light's just on his eye, and I thought that's a really cool like choice of like style choice.
Yeah.
And I found there's some other like cool like just some cool shots in it that and just different things that I thought the director did a great job in that portion of it.
Yes.
There's some stuff that's pretty amateur as well, but it seemed like he had 3 or 4 like really cool shots he wanted to do, and he did those ones. But I think it was well directed in just generally. So
Yeah. Yeah. Visually, it looked pretty cool. I mean, for a 1984 low budget horror movie, it looked pretty cool. I agree.
Yeah.
Totally.
yeah.
So I'm gonna throw a miss in here
Okay.
right off the top. Well, not right off the top, but an early thing. And this is sort of an all-encompassing miss.
Okay.
So this movie, like the first half of the movie, involves Billy as a like 11-year-old. I guess he was 11 or 8 or so. He was young, and a lot of the time he spends in an orphanage with lots of other 8 8 or 11-year-old kids. I felt like the stuff that these kids were seeing being done in this movie and the way they were talking about Santa Claus and what Santa Claus, I feel like they totally traumatized these kids and ruined Christmas for them in real life. Like, there's no way these kids could have left the set and thought that Santa was real and that Santa was not terrifying, because they keep talking about, if you're naughty, Santa will come and punish you. And they keep saying this over and over. Well, there's no way an 8-year-old kid would not be traumatized by that in real life.
Like you're talking like the actors, like the real kids.
Like
yeah,
the actors. I'm like,
there's
yeah.
like because they didn't seem like they were like maybe a couple of them like Billy was probably a real actor. I feel like a lot of them were just kids that they just probably found and
Yeah,
threw in
like
the
little
movie,
extras. Yeah.
Yeah, because
But
they literally saw like Santa, like I think killed 2 or 3 times in the movie.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah, I'm like, there's no way that their parents could now have a normal Christmas at their house, saying, "Oh, you got to go to bed because Santa's coming," without that kid being like totally terrified. It's like I can't imagine that. Like, I feel like in today, like if they're making this movie today, those kids would not have been in the room when they talked about how Santa's gonna kill people. And
yeah, probably not. Even the scene with his grandfather when he's like the grandfather in the movie's like comatose. And then when the parents, of course, walk out of the room, he starts to talk to Billy like he doesn't talk at all. And all of a sudden he starts talking, and one of the things he says is if you're like naughty, like he'll basically kill you or something.
Yes.
Like it's just like he's like terrifying. Like
yes, like I feel so badly for that actor, for the little boy who's like had to go home, and then I feel badly for the parents who had to explain, no, it's not real.
it's a movie,
Yeah, everything's fine. Anyway, I was just like, wow, these poor kids. I felt bad for them.
I've got a hit and a miss. Like they're the same subject matter, but just I can go both ways with it.
Yeah.
Is the music.
Oh.
Sometimes the music like super distorted and kind of like a manic like keyboard sort of sound, which
Yes.
sounded awesome. Like it sounded great. Like it was just distorted enough. It has that definite like late 70s, early 80s sort of like sound, and it sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Then sometimes they have like, I don't know who performed these songs, but they have like real, like they're like songs with somebody singing that are almost like pop songs,
Yeah,
or
like
like there's a
soul
gospel song.
Yeah.
And then there's all these different songs. I don't know who produced them, but some of them are terrible.
Yes.
It's kind of like, okay, we need a song about this. And so they like the lyrics almost like match sometimes like what was going on. Like, and there's like at one point, Billy's just working in a in this toy store, and they have this song, and they do a full like a classic 80s montage of him putting boxes away and doing all this stuff, and the lyrics were terrible. Like it was just, I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, I agree. I had the same thing. It was kind of all over the place. Like sometimes it was creepy and sometimes it was weird, just weird. So yeah,
Just doing it together. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's just some like weird song, and I'm like, this does not like make it very scary. Like
No. It was not the scariest soundtrack. I totally agree. Okay, so I'm going to throw a hit in here. So like I said before, part of this movie takes place in an orphanage because the whole premise is this little boy's parents were killed by a deranged Santa. And so he doesn't have any parents, so he's taken to an orphanage. And in this orphanage is run by a mother superior, and she's like to me the most terrifying character in this whole movie.
Yeah,
She's portrayed as the stereotypical private school, like Catholic school, mother superior, so super stern, like a tyrant,
no nonsense at all.
And no nonsense. Like if you did something wrong, she was getting out the belt and you're getting whipped by Mother Superior. And she was terrifying. Like she was like legitimately scary. Like if you put yourself into the place of these kids who were there, I was like, this is really good because it was setting the stage for Billy to become a killer later on because he was like tortured by this tyrannical mother superior, and it felt like they did a good job with that.
Yeah,
she was actually scary, I thought.
I thought that was,
she wasn't a serial killer. I
thought that was
a serial killer.
I thought that character was fantastic.
So that was I was all in there, but I find that like orphanages and that sort of thing creepy anyway. So to add her in there, I was like, this is great.
Whoever wrote this movie though, the names were kind of like, everybody's names were kind of lame. Like there was like Mother Superior, there was like, I think it was like Sister Margaret. Like they're all these typical names you would have for nuns, and then his name's like Billy. Like it's
Billy.
I don't think there's a lot of thought put into the names of anybody in this. Like
no, there really wasn't. That's true, but she was scary.
She was.
Yes.
I've got a hit, which is like kind of a weird hit, but the fact there's a part where Billy gets a job. He's like 18, so he gets his job at a toy store. And the thing I loved about that he worked at this toy store is that they had real toys in it. And the toys were like super vintage toys from '84. And like I noticed at one point there's like a full G.I. Joe costume, like one of those, like I can't remember what they're called. There's a name for them, but it's just the like that plastic mask. And like
Ben Cooper. They were Ben Cooper
those in there. Yep. And then there was like a Jabba the Hutt play set at one point behind one of them as they were talking, and like there was something else like a crawl game. Like remember, I think
there was a crawl game. Yeah,
like there was all sorts of stuff in there, and I'm like, I was more fascinated with all the toys from that time period that were stuck on the things. Like but it brought back a lot of memories as I was watching it, so I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, I had the exact same thing. I wrote down so it's the toy store he works in is called Ira's Toys. I wrote down 1984 Ira's Toys store. It was super nostalgic. There was a Mr. Potato Head, Jabba's Throne Room, G.I. Joe, Mr. Mouth. Remember Mr. Mouth? There was a Mr. Mouth in there, and then tons of Ben Cooper Halloween masks. There was a Master of the Universe Castle Grayskull in there. But then I also had this as a miss, only because it was super distracting. Like watching it now, I totally missed some of what they were saying because all I was doing was looking behind them and looking on the shelves. And like, oh my God, they have the Jabba's palace. Oh, that's so cool. Like I was so interested in what they had on the shelves. Like back in the day, that wouldn't have been anything because every toy store would have looked like that. But for us now, to see that, I was like, that's awesome. So
I also couldn't tell which was I couldn't tell which was the toy store and which was the back room. Like nothing like real. The displays were not very well done. It's like in this toy store,
it looked like a pop-up toy store that they had just found. But apparently this is one of the fun facts. It was an actual warehouse, like the place that they got. So they built. It wasn't an actual toy store. So they I don't know if they licensed these toys or they just bought them and put them in there, but it looks like a warehouse. Like it looks
Yeah.
like, and apparently the building is still standing. You could go and see that building.
Oh,
It's still,
that calls for a tour.
I know, but that was my ultimate, like that was my favorite part of the whole movie was that scene in the toy store because it had everything. There
Yeah,
was
I love how
Muppet
we
stuff.
both honed in on that too. Like,
Yes, there was Muppet stuff. There was Garfield stuff.
yeah,
There
it was like everything. Because
Yeah,
usually a movie like that, if they have a toy store, it's all these generic toys.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
but this
Oh,
was like all these like brand name like Kenner and things
yes.
like toys. It was so cool.
To see the Castle Grayskull, I was
Yeah.
like, oh my god! And it would have been like $10 to buy it back then.
Yeah,
And
they
that-
probably had on that set, like if they just didn't do anything with those toys, they probably have like $100,000 worth of
oh,
toys there, like
yes,
for
yeah.
collectors. Like,
So I was so into it. I'm gonna throw in another hit because most of my misses come later in the movie.
Okay.
So one more hit sort of at the beginning of the movie. To me this movie's kind of two parts. There's the part up until he leaves the orphanage, like when he's a kid, and then there's the part when he turns 18 and is now working in the toy store. It's kind of, for me, it's kind of like two
though
movies.
he looks 24, but yes,
He's
go on.
very much older than 18, yes. So most of my hits come in the first half of the movie.
Okay.
And most of my misses come in the second half of the movie.
Okay.
Anyway, a big hit for me, and this I found was so different from most horror movies, was the whole premise of this movie was about unchecked childhood trauma. So it
Yeah.
literally was, he was traumatized seeing his parents killed by a serial killer. Then he was traumatized in this orphanage by this mother superior. And nobody at the time, because it was 1984, nobody thought maybe he should, have some psychological help or anything.
Yeah.
So
No.
it was trauma after trauma after trauma. So it made sense that eventually he snapped and became a serial killer. But you saw that progression. It totally made sense. You're like, yeah, this kid is messed up.
Yep.
And none of the adults seem to think that he's just being bad. He's just being bad. We should whip him because he's being bad, and I thought this is what would happen. Like this is I'm guessing probably majority of real serial killers have unchecked childhood trauma.
Yeah.
So
it's funny. The actress that played Mother Superior was asked about this movie, by the way, was like after about 2 weeks in the theater was banned
yes.
at one point because of there was a whole parent group that got together and
Yep.
formed this coalition and they got this movie banned. The actress that played Mother Superior said they shouldn't have, like in the original trailers, focused so much on the killer Santa and more about the boy and his trauma. So that sort of like follows through on that. But and also, by the way, this was released the same weekend as Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. So which is kind of crazy.
Which is so crazy. I'll just add on to that little fun fact a little bit that it was banned. The television ads that ran for this movie were aired between episodes of family-friendly series like The Little House on the Prairie.
Oh,
For
man.
some reason, they decided to run the ads for this thing during so kids who were watching these shows, it was like they're creating childhood trauma in kids who are watching.
That would be
TV.
frightening as a kid, like just all of
Yeah.
a sudden stumbling upon this. Like,
Yes. And so you're watching this wholesome TV show like Little House on the Prairie, and then you see a Santa with an axe who's like killing people. Like I don't know who thought that was a good idea, but
it was the 80s. Anything went, basically.
this is
Like,
true. Yeah, this is true. But anyway, all the advertising was removed from TV due to public outcry afterwards. So they after 6 days after the movie came out, they pulled all TV advertising.
yeah.
So it's surprising anybody saw this in the theater.
Yeah. The group was called Citizens Against Movie Madness was the name of the group. So
Yeah. And it would have made people mad.
it would. Apparently it did. Apparently it did.
Yep. All right. Okay. What else have we got?
Okay, I've got for a horror movie, it had some pretty cool kills in it.
Yep.
It had some like really neat ones. There was a woman getting thrown onto some antlers. Like I thought it was a great
classic. Yep.
In fact, I think who was that? That was a famous horror actress. Her name's not escaping. I've met her too. I can't remember what her name is off the top of my head. And it had my favorite, and this is one of my favorite in any horror movie. Actually, it was in this movie. There was a kid going down on a toboggan.
Oh yes.
and he's waiting, and the kid comes in, and he just like whoosh, right off the
Yep.
head. Like
Yep.
that's like that. It still remains one of my favorite. I forgot it was in this movie, and that still remains one of my favorite kills in
Yeah.
a movie, just because
It's a
it's
good
just such
one.
a weird situation. So
It is, and his buddy was at the bottom of the hill, and the toboggan comes down with the guy without a head, and
yes,
then the head rolls along afterwards. So it's like a reveal. Yep, that was a good one.
that's a great kill. But there was some good kills in this, so I quite enjoyed that part of it.
I agree. I have one more hit that I'm
Okay.
just going to throw in here, and then I'll go into some other stuff. My my last hit that I have is that in the 1980s, Christmas animatronics were inherently creepy. Like, and they show them a lot. Like, they show a lot of, like, I mean, the things you would have seen in a Christmas window, a display, and
Yeah.
whatever. They were super creepy, and the director knew this because he was taking like extreme close-ups of these creepy dolls like moving around, and it just like they weren't meant to be. Like
Yeah.
that's what they were just. But when you shoot them in like with the creepy lighting, they're by themselves they're creepy, and they just
Yeah.
added so much to the atmosphere of this thing because yeah, I just found them like, whew, we lived through that. Like we
I
saw that in the
know.
mall every year.
You ever see like old pictures of like people sitting on like Santa's lap, like the
Yeah.
Santas all looked weird back then, and the
Yeah.
Easter bunnies were like I still think no one's ever made a cute looking Easter bunny costume. They all look frightening. Like but those ones back then were terrifying. Like they were
Exactly. Well, the animatronics in these movies were like the top of the creepy list. I just found them like, woof, these are nightmare fuel, these things. But it worked. Like it was good. It was a hit for me because that's what it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be
Yeah.
creepy. Yeah.
That's
All right.
awesome. All right, I have a miss.
Okay.
I'm gonna call it just awkward scenes, like
All
scenes
right.
that just seem like really awkward that would never really happen.
Yeah.
Number one, the awkward scene, the worst staff Christmas party ever. There was a scene where there was a staff Christmas party, and there's like only like 4 people there, 5 people.
Yes.
And then one guy tries to do something to a girl in the back, and I'm like, "There's only like 3 people here. Like, it's not like you're hiding amongst like 50 staff members. Like,
No.
there's like it's so ridiculous." And then there's the woman that got on the antlers answered the door at one point, like just totally topless.
Yes.
Like just answering a door, like you don't even know who's out there. Like it just
Yeah.
seemed like it's so awkward. Like who would do
Yeah.
that?
Why would that even happen? Yes. Yeah.
That would
was
never
weird.
happen.
Yeah.
And then there's a point at the end, the kids were super excited to see Santa. He gets killed, and then they're still excited about it. Like it's
Yeah.
like it's just sort of like it's just so awkward.
See, this is what I mean. The second half of the movie had some issues. This is all happening in the second half of the first half of the movie. Brilliant. Second half of the movie, some issues here. So I have a miss in the second half of the movie.
Okay,
So
yeah.
when Billy turns 18 and he decides he's going to be a serial killer dressed up as Santa Claus, one of the first, and maybe it was the first kill that he did, he wrapped some Christmas lights around a guy's neck and then lifted him up and strangled him. But he lifted him up with one hand because his other hand was by his side. So somehow this kid became superhuman all of a sudden. Like he was like at least 2 or 3 feet
Yeah, I
off
know.
the
I saw
ground.
that scene. I was like, what's going on? Like, how's he so strong?
It doesn't make any sense. Like he's not superhuman. He was just a kid. He was like an 18-year-old, but he totally lifted him up with one hand and strangled the guy within about 10 seconds and
I
then
know.
dropped him to the floor. I'm like, what? When did he become so strong? That was really weird. I thought that was odd. So
And that whole scene was so bizarre. Like it was just like,
Yeah.
like how can you get away with half the stuff he was doing? Like no one's like double checking anything or like
no, that seems very odd to me.
one of my misses is is where is this and why is the snow sometimes there and sometimes not?
Yeah.
Because I know it's supposed to be Christmas,
Yeah.
but there's scenes like of them driving and there's no snow. There's mountains in the background with snow, but there's no snow anywhere.
Yeah.
And then there's kids playing in front of the orphanage and like snow that obviously was dumped there from like
Yeah.
a local arena or something.
Yes.
Like it wasn't real snow. Like, or like it was just like the scrapings or whatever of snow. And then there was like other scenes where suddenly it was like super snowy, like when they went tobogganing.
Yeah,
Like there was like
yeah.
it was like the mountain was completely covered in snow, or the
Yeah.
hill that they were on. And I'm like where is this? That it's like there's like sometimes snow. You can tell it was shot, I think, in different places.
Yes.
And I think sometimes the snow was shipped in as
Yeah,
well.
I
So
totally agree. And I have a miss that complements that. Early on in the movie, like one of the first scenes when Billy is driving with his parents, they're listening to the radio, and the radio is talking about how it's 21 degrees Fahrenheit outside, which is -6 degrees Celsius.
okay.
None of them have any winter coats or
Yeah, you're right.
boots. Like they run out of the car and Billy's just wearing like a sweater. There's no like it's -6. Like it's
Yeah.
cold. 21 degrees. It's cold out there. Nobody is dressed for the weather at all.
I know. It's just
Because my guess is it was probably the middle of the summer. So they're like, it's really
Th-
hot. I don't want to wear
this is like when it like why it's a low budget, because there's like
Yeah.
just some things I guess they couldn't get around. But
Yeah.
by the way, Leanna Quigley was the person that
Oh,
played
that's
her.
right.
Yeah, I should have
Yes.
remembered her name, but I had to look her up because I have to give her props
Yes.
because she had one of the better scenes in it, to be honest. Like when
She
she's
totally
like that.
did. Okay, I've got another miss, and this is very scene specific. So now Billy's been killing people, so the police are after him. They're or trying to find this killer Santa Claus, and they come up to a house where a cop comes up to a house where he sees a ladder on the outside of the house, and he sees a Santa Claus climbing up the ladder into an upper window of this house, which isn't normal.
No.
So they break into the house, like they bust in, and first of all, the wife is sitting in the thing. She just says, "What are you doing? What are you doing here?" Like there are two cops who she would have like freaked out. Anyway,
Yeah.
they go upstairs, and it turns out that the Santa was this little girl's father who wanted to surprise her by like dressing up as Santa Claus, but she was asleep in the bed. So she didn't even know that he had climbed up the outside of the house into the window. He could have just walked in the front, like into the door of her bedroom.
Yeah, like why was it so dramatic?
Why did he have to climb up a ladder outside the house, climb in through the window, then wake her up? And I'm like, that was like way too much. Didn't make any sense to me. Yeah.
Yeah, I would put that under awkward scenes as well. That was
Very
a
awkward.
weird
Very
scene.
awkward. Yeah, that was very awkward.
I've got a couple more here. I've got one of my misses is some sloppy scene work. This is, again, encompasses a couple scenes. You might have
All
some
right.
of these as well.
Okay.
The toboggan scene, even though the kill was great, they come up to the two kids come up who are like never introduced. They're just sort of these kids. And they come up to this hill and they're like, "Oh, this is a virgin hill. No one's ever gone down it. You can see footprints everywhere."
Yes. You can see like tracks from other
Yeah,
toboggans.
it's already got a toboggan track, and they're talking like,
Yeah.
"Oh, it's a virgin hill. No one's ever seen this
Yeah,
before."
no.
At least make it look like one if you're going to say that.
Yes.
And it also has almost zero incline, by the way. Like,
No, I know.
and there's another scene. We talked about this one where they're in the car at the beginning, like the family before they get killed, and
Yeah.
the mom has like a baby that's not in she's just holding it in her arms, like in a
Yeah.
car. Like, I mean, I
Yeah.
guess back then you could probably get away with that. But she's on the close up of her, she's like moving her hands around, like, but in the other shot, she's holding it, like she's not really like
Just
it's
balancing
just like,
on her lap.
yeah, just balancing. Apparently, I don't know. There's just some things.
Yeah.
And then at one point, there's like I don't even know where the baby was. Like it was just so like so dumb. So there's some continuity problems in this. Like,
Lots of those, yes. All right, I have another awkward scene moment then.
Okay, perfect.
There's a scene where people are trying to call a house where they think the killer is, to warn the people, like he's in the house, he's there. Well, they can't get through because the phone is off the hook, and but what had happened was a little girl, they called the orphanage, I guess, or yeah, a little girl had been using the phone and talking to somebody on the phone, and instead of hanging up the phone, she just put the receiver down on the table and left. Well, if she's old enough to know how to use the phone, she obviously made the phone call. She picked up the receiver, dialed the number, talked on the phone, and then just randomly put the receiver on the table? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
There were a few things in this movie that didn't really make a lot of sense.
I thought that was hilarious. That one was a good one.
I've got one last one here.
All right.
this is might be my favorite scene in almost any movie, and I love this scene.
Okay.
There's a scene where there's a Santa, and then Billy, or it's not Billy, I can't remember who it is. There's a child. It comes in and punches the Santa, like, oh, it was Billy. It was early before he was grown
Oh,
up.
yes.
And there was
Yes.
a Santa there, and he freaks out, and he like literally punches the Santa so hard, knocks the Santa out of the seat.
Yeah.
And it was like
Backwards.
a great punch. Like it was just
Yeah.
like, and it was like, it knocks this Santa out like it's a
Yeah.
child, like punching a grown man.
Yeah.
But the way he comes up and just clocks him, and it was a great scene. I love it. I love this.
It was so funny. I think
I actually laughed out loud because I was like, oh, that's like hilarious.
that was really funny. I've got one more awkward scene. So, and again, near the end of the movie, the police are looking on the lookout for anybody that looks like a Santa, and they're just gonna, take him down. They drive up to the orphanage, back to the orphanage, and they see a Santa walking across the street, walking towards the orphanage, and the kids are all playing outside. So the cop, instead of like tackling the guy or stopping him to question, gets out of his car and literally just shoots and kills the Santa from behind. Like, Santa was walking away. You don't see his face. He just shoots and kills the Santa. Well, the Santa, of course, turns out to be Father O'Brien, who is dressed up as Santa. But the bigger issue is there was no consequence. They're like, oh, that was unfortunate. That was Father O'Brien. Okay, well, call the ambulance. All right, and then they just
I know
away.
it's like this is like a
And that was
major
it.
thing. Like, and not to mention, there's kids out there. Why are you shooting someone when there's like a bunch of children?
I know. And there was but nobody seemed to even care that poor Father O'Brien, who was just there in his Santa suit, was just shot in front of the entire orphanage. It was just like,
That cop got his though. I think a little bit later on.
he did.
Yes, he
that
did.
was fine, I guess. Yeah. All right. Do you have more? I've got one last one.
No, I have no more.
You got okay. My last one is there is a hilarious scene that I literally laughed out loud of the children in the orphanage. They decide that they should the Mother Superior decides that they should all sing Christmas carols. So they sing oh come let us adore him. That's what they're singing.
Yeah.
But these are all like 8-year-olds that are
Oh come ye faithful, or whatever it's called. Is that what it is?
That one.
I didn't even say it right. I don't even know what it's actually called.
No, but I think it's called "Oh Come Let Us Adore Him." That's the one.
Yeah, that's what it's called. I don't know if that is, but it's.
I don't know. But that's what they're saying anyway.
Yeah.
And so they're doing that, but they're all 8-year-olds. But what you hear is like quite clearly a church choir.
Oh yeah,
singing this. Like, these are all adult voices that are singing this, and so they pan around the room, and half the kids are going. They're not even making words. Like, it is so far from like actual singing.
yeah.
Like, why wouldn't they at least have taught the kids the words and then had them sing it so they can at least match up the mouths to what they're doing? The mouths aren't even close, and they're all close-ups of these kids just It made me laugh so hard.
You should have been in the movie. You've been perfect.
That's exactly what it was. It was awesome.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, so the movie kind of slipped a little bit in the second half.
Yeah. So, do you think it still holds up?
I mean, yeah, it's fun. Like, it's a super fun
Yeah.
movie. I will totally watch it again. It's just it missed the opportunity that it set up in the first half with the childhood trauma and
Yeah.
stuff, and being like, this is going to be serious. And then as soon as he grew up, it just became like a holy mess. But it's still a fun movie to watch.
Yeah, I liked it. It's a fun movie. There's enough happens in it that it's like there's some good laughs just based on just like the time periods and
Yes.
like some of the bad acting and like whatever. Not everything. It's not a perfect movie by any stretch.
No,
but it's
it's
kind
not.
of fun. Like some of it doesn't make any sense, but whatever. But there are some good performances. Like the Mother Superior actually was a good performance. I thought
Yes.
Sister Margaret was good too.
She was good,
And
yeah.
Billy was fine. Like especially the kid was good.
The kid was
for
good.
sure. Yeah, they're both fine. They're both fine. Like they're just
I thought they were good. Just Siskel and Ebert reviewed this movie, and
no.
they condemned the movie, and Siskel went as far as to read the names of the film's production crew on the air during the review and said, "Shame on you."
Oh my God. What was it? I don't think it was that bad. Actually, it kind of holds up in that it's got that sort of vintage 80s sort of feel to it,
Like
slasher
now
feel.
it does.
So,
I feel like in 1984 when it wasn't vintage, when it was brand new, I feel like people would have been like, okay, this is trash. Like this is so bad. But now, 40 years later, looking at it, it feels so nostalgic. And like that's why I think it's developed a cult following because
yeah,
it's so nostalgic now. But back in 1984, this would not have been a good movie.
no.
I don't
And
think.
so we'll just get into this very briefly because we've this has been going on for a bit, but
Okay, but before we get into that one, let me just real quick.
Right.
The sequel, A Silent Night, Deadly Night 2, came out, and 25% of that movie is literally the first movie again.
I know. It's like it's they re-edited part of it.
The whole, like, literally a quarter of the movie is Billy, who's now an adult, talking to a police officer about what happened, and they just show full, like, long stretches of the original movie again. So like the first half of the movie is the same movie as the original. It's so weird.
Hey, you got to use that content if you got it. You got to reuse it. Reuse and recycle.
Yep. And speaking of reuse and recycle, what were you gonna say?
We went and saw the new one.
Yes.
Like you may not have seen it, so I don't want to get too much into the plot and stuff like that. But I'll just give my general review on it. It could have been any other movie. It didn't need this name on it. It was like it just didn't seem like it had elements of this movie in it. And not that I need a shot for shot movie or anything, but it had some very odd. I don't know what they were trying to do with it. It had a lot of different styles and it was just sort of. It had a grindhouse like feel, but like a grindhouse light
for part of it.
Yeah, like
So
I
bad.
wasn't like.
And then for somehow it had like a bit of a sci-fi feel to it, and it was all over the board.
Yeah, it was all over the board. Like I think I likened it to it was like Dexter meets like
Yes.
like Tarantino or something. Like it
Yeah,
was just
that's
like,
exactly what it was. Yeah, it was such a. I think you liked it a little more than I did.
Yeah.
If I had been watching this at home, I would have turned it off probably about 15 minutes in. I was so annoyed all the way through it. I hated this movie so much. I can't even tell you how much I hated this
I
movie.
thought I kind of knew what they were trying to do, but it was just it under that banner, under the Silent Night, Deadly Night banner, it just didn't work because I was expecting more horror, and this was something else. Like I don't know what it was, but
it was not Silent Night, Deadly Night. Like like the whole childhood trauma thing. That's what makes Silent Night, Deadly Night different and unique, and and this was not that.
Yeah,
so I don't know. But,
apparently, I had read that. I was just going to go back to Silent Night, Deadly Night for a second. That director like never worked again mostly because he almost got ran out of town because of like the whole canceling of it. So which was kind of interesting.
Yeah,
they could have used him on this new one for sure.
Yes.
So, anyways, let's wrap that up. So, I want to wish everybody a happy holidays and a happy new year. We'll be back with our year-end review. It'll be a double episode again, as we did last year.
With our very special guests. Yeah,
we'll have Backstage Ben back, and Neil will be back probably. And I say probably because we haven't asked them yet if they want to be in it. But I'm assuming they will be in it.
We're just making assumptions. Yes.
Yes, we're making big assumptions. So now that they've heard this, now they kind of feel like they have to be in it because we've said this. So thank you everybody for watching the show and supporting it. We really super appreciate it. Check us out on our socials, and we'll see you next time on Loop and Larry, Guardians of Geek.
Bye-bye.
Produced by Matthew C. Loop and Lawrence Simner. A Loop and Larry production.
Bueller.
He likes it. Hey, Mikey.
Bueller.
Bad news. Fog is getting thicker.
And Leon's getting larger.
Inconceivable.
Brian's right. It's an elf.
Wax on.
Does Barry Manilow know that you raid his wardrobe?
Oh, Captain, my captain.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Wax off.